You know, when we think of a grandmaster playing chess, there's this expectation of, like, pure unbroken control.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
The board is set, the pieces move exactly as they're designed to, within the strict parameters of the game. You sacrifice a pawn, you take a knight, it's clean, predictable, and, well, entirely logical.
Right. It's a closed system. You know the exact mathematical capabilities of your opponent, and they know yours. There are no surprises if you play perfectly.
Exactly. But then, I want you to imagine you're sitting at that chessboard, meticulously planning your five-move checkmate, and a wild, invisible tiger suddenly jumps onto the table.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that changes things.
It smashes the board and tries to rip your head off. So suddenly the rules of chess are just completely useless. You aren't playing a game of intellect anymore. You're thrust into a totally unpredictable landscape, fighting for your life against something that does not care about your rules.
Yeah, the paradigm completely shifts.
Okay, so let's unpack this, because today's deep dive is taking us straight into one of the most intense, genre-bending scenarios we've ever covered. We're doing a full breakdown of the legendary clash between the ultimate human detective and strategist.
Batman.
Right, Batman. And a nearly invisible extraterrestrial hunter, the Predator.
It is such a wild premise.
It really is. And using a full narrative account of the story, alongside Batman's own tactical logs that detail his contingency plans, we're going to track this story from the very first drop of blood all the way to a final cosmic standoff.
And for you listening, I really want to stress that this goes far beyond like a simple comic book slugfest. What we're really examining today is a masterclass in asymmetrical warfare. It's a study of how to use intellect, observation, and meticulous environmental preparation when you find yourself massively outgunned.
And physically outmatched, too.
Exactly. It's a strategy lesson that anyone facing a seemingly impossible alien obstacle can appreciate.
So to understand how this chessboard gets flipped, we have to look at where this creature chose to make its very first move.
Right.
The story opens at the Gotham Arena. We have a heavyweight title fight underway between two boxers. There's Bersaglio, known as the Bull, and King Marcus.
And this isn't just a sporting event, is it?
No, not at all. It's basically a proxy war. Bersaglio is backed by mob boss Leo Broden, and King Marcus is backed by a rival boss, Alex Yeager.
Typical Gotham.
Yeah, gritty Gotham gang politics. You have these mob bosses squabbling right at ringside.
Meanwhile, a completely different kind of game is starting at this desolate local junkyard on the edge of the city.
Oh, this scene is so creepy.
It really is. So an invisible ship lands. There's a middle-aged man living in a nearby RV, and he throws his dog outside because it's barking aggressively at just, well, empty air.
Right, because it senses something there.
Exactly. And moments later, the dog is dead.
No.
So the man rushes out with a shotgun, but before his finger can even brush the trigger, 3 triangle-shaped lasers appear on his chest.
Just iconic.
And he is killed instantly. I mean, the speed and precision of the strike immediately established that this entity is operating on a completely different technological level than Gotham's street criminals.
Yeah, and the creature doesn't linger in the junkyard. It hears the radio in the RV broadcasting the climax of the boxing match.
Right, King Marcus wins the championship.
Yes, and this is where the alien makes its first true statement. It completely bypasses all the normal street-level crime in the city. It goes straight for the newly crowned champion, King Marcus, in his penthouse suite at the Gotham Plaza Hotel.
So Marcus is celebrating, thinking he's completely insulated by all of Yeager's armed bodyguards stationed outside the door.
But without warning, this mysterious figure crashes directly through the rooftop glass.
And the weapon it uses here is just, it's brutal. It fires a projectile that expands into a net, which is this agonizing piece of xenotech. The fibers are woven so tightly and the retraction mechanism is so forceful that it cuts straight through muscle down to the bone.
That is terrifying.
And then the creature just crushes Marcus's neck and takes his head and spinal column as a trophy.
It even mimics the radio announcer's voice it heard earlier in the RV, repeating the phrase "little party" in this distorted, monstrous tone.
So creepy.
It's essentially like an arrogant tourist on a big game safari.
Yeah.
It isn't an invader trying to conquer Gotham's underworld, steal money, or, usurp the Batman. It is just here for sport.
Yeah, and it sees the heavyweight champion of the city as the alpha prey.
Right.
Because the Predator operates on a strict, brutal code of honor. Batman's later analysis reveals that it is actively seeking only the biggest, most powerful targets. It views common muggers or typical henchmen as completely unworthy of the hunt. It is establishing the rules of its game. selecting targets that represent the pinnacle of physical or social dominance in this specific urban jungle.
Well, the body count escalates dramatically after that. The Predator crashes a high-level mob meeting between Alex Yeager and his associates.
Oh, this is a bloodbath.
Total bloodbath. It slaughters Yeager's men using a bladed boomerang and a shoulder-mounted plasma cannon.
And Leo Broden, the rival boss, happens to be there, right?
Yeah, and he actually manages to blast the creature with a shotgun, sending it flying out the window. When Batman investigates the aftermath of this chaos, he finds a strange yellow substance left behind.
Right, that glowing yellow blood.
Yeah.
And that finally gives the world's greatest detective a physical trail to track.
Yes.
He follows that bioluminescent fluid all the way back to the RV at the junkyard.
And what he finds is essentially a slaughterhouse, human skulls, a body hanging upside down. But Batman's cover gets blown in the process.
The Predator spots him.
Exactly. And the first clash officially begins. The Predator throws its bladed boomerang, slicing open Batman's thigh. Batman tries to use the environment, like swinging a massive magnet crane to drop scrap metal on the creature.
Which normally works against his rogues gallery.
Right. But the Predator simply fires a plasma beam that melts the metal and grazes Batman's cheek. Then the alien pulls out a double-bladed scimitar, and what follows is a total, unmitigated defeat for the Dark Knight.
Yeah, it is a completely one-sided massacre.
Yeah.
The creature easily overpowers him physically. It just stands over a battered, helpless Batman, pointing its bladed gauntlet directly in his face.
And it mocks him, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mimicking those words it learned from the radio, saying, "Understand the rules," and "championship."
Chilling. Batman only survives because he manages to reach his utility belt and remote summon the Batmobile.
Right, the car just bursts in.
Yeah. The armored car crashes through the junkyard fence, hits the Predator in this fiery drift, and wedges itself between them.
But even then.
Right. Even as Batman crawls into the blast-proof cabin and commands the car to retreat, the enraged Predator throws its sword with such monstrous force that it pierces right through the bulletproof windshield.
Which is insane.
Severely wounding Batman as the car speeds away. Okay, wait, let me push back on this narrative for a second.
Sure.
Isn't Batman supposed to be the ultimate tactician?
Yeah.
Like the guy who analyzes every variable before stepping into a room? Why did he go into this junkyard completely blind and let himself get beaten to a pulp by an unknown entity?
See, this raises an important question about Batman's fundamental methodology. The critical flaw in his initial approach was institutional inertia.
Institutional inertia? What do you mean?
He treated this anomaly like a standard Gotham crime. He applied his normal operating procedure, investigate the scene, track the suspect to their hideout, and engage using standard martial arts and gadgets.
Ah, I see.
But attempting hand-to-hand combat against an extraterrestrial with 5 times human bone density, an invisibility cloak, and plasma-based weaponry, that is tactical suicide.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Getting absolutely dismantled was actually the necessary catalyst. This defeat forced him to realize he wasn't fighting a rogue metahuman or a guy in a tailored suit.
Right.
He was fighting an apex alien hunter, which required him to completely tear down his approach and build a new one from scratch.
So while Bruce Wayne is bedridden at Wayne Manor, hooked up to medical tubes with his eyes bandaged, Gotham completely unravels.
Oh, it's chaos.
The transition of power is terrifying.
The psychological impact on the city cannot be overstated here. Batman is missing. The bat signal shines brightly in the night sky, and for the first time in memory, absolutely no one answers it.
And the Predator takes full advantage of that vacuum. It systematically hunts the remaining power players. It kills Yeager's partner, Raymond, in an elevator. The creature waits for the lights to go out, uses its thermal vision to strike in pitch blackness, mimicking the phrase, "good day at the office."
It's just so unsettling how it uses our language.
It really is. Then it tracks Leo Broden to a heavily fortified bunker. Broden has his best 20 men there, armed with automatic weapons and landmines.
A total fortress.
But the Predator just tears through the defenses, crashes through a brick wall, and slaughters everyone inside, including Broden and his mother.
Jeez.
It even murders Mayor Lieberman in a city hall bathroom, hanging the city's leader upside down from the ceiling.
It is systematically dismantling the power structures of the city. But while Gotham burns, we have to look at what Batman is actually doing in recovery.
Right. He's not just resting.
Exactly. He is in the digital sanctuary of the Batcomputer, synthesizing data fragments from obscure government projects and matching them with his own horrific combat data.
His tactical logs from this period are incredible.
Yeah.
He realizes a direct Physical confrontation is mathematically impossible to win.
Yeah.
So he has to map out the blind spots.
And he deduces two major vulnerabilities. First, psychological, the predator is profoundly arrogant. It assumes dominance and underestimates prey that doesn't rely on brute physical force. And second, technological relies entirely on its biomass.
Oh, the mask is key.
That mask provides life support and thermal vision. To the predator, humans aren't people. They are just bright, warm, infrared signatures in the dark.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Batman concludes, if I take away its eyes, I blind it. If I neutralize its technology, I leave it naked and relying on pure instinct. So he develops this brilliant 4-phase contingency plan. Let's walk through this because the applied science is just staggering.
Let's do it.
Phase 1 is battlefield control. He knows he can't fight this thing on random rooftops. He needs to lead it to terrain. He controls Gotham's isolated industrial district.
Right.
But how do you control an alien that can literally turn invisible?
Well, you change the atmosphere. Batman has the Batwing fly over the industrial sector at high altitude, seeding the clouds with silver iodide particles.
Wow.
This artificially induces a freezing dense rainstorm. The excess water density in the air creates a refractive failure in the predator's cloaking device.
Ooh, that is smart.
Yeah. The water droplets hit the energy field, creating a visible, shimmering distortion. Furthermore, the massive drop in ambient temperature messes with the background contrast for its thermal vision.
He's taking away its sight.
And its hearing. He prepositions high-frequency sonic emitters all over the zone. Because the alien has highly sensitive auditory receptors for hunting, a specific ultrasound frequency acts as an agonizing area denial weapon.
That brings us to Phase 2, what he calls the Ghost Protocol. He can't just walk in wearing Kevlar. He builds a specialized armor called the Fenrir suit. But this isn't just about taking a punch, right?
No, not at all. It's a masterpiece of thermodynamics.
Yeah.
The outer layer of the Fenrir suit is coated with active cooling panels powered by a closed-circuit cryogenic system.
Insane.
It actively suppresses his body heat, regulating his surface temperature to perfectly match the freezing rain around him. To the alien's thermal vision, Batman simply ceases to exist.
He becomes a void in the background.
Exactly. He is literally erasing his own biological signature from the battlefield.
He also swaps out his explosive batarangs for liquid nitrogen projectiles designed to freeze the alien's tech alongside sonic batarangs to amplify those ear-splitting frequencies.
Which leads right into Phase 3.
Phase 3, the engagement. With the atmospheric trap set, Batman uses himself as bait. When the predator enters the kill zone and the icy rain exposes its distorted silhouette, Batman strikes.
But he doesn't throw a punch.
Right. He attacks the alien's vision using magnesium smoke grenades.
Because magnesium burns incredibly hot. By flooding the area with high-temperature particles, he completely overloads the creature's infrared sensors. It's the thermal equivalent of staring directly into a strobe light.
And this sensory overload forces the disoriented predator to physically tear off its biomask just to relieve the pressure on its eyes and ears.
Which is exactly what Batman wants.
Now, it's breathing Earth's atmosphere and fully exposed. That is when Batman moves in for close-quarters combat.
Yeah.
But again, the objective isn't a knockout, it's systematic disarmament.
Right. He uses high-frequency electrified eskrima sticks, specifically targeting the metallic servos of the alien's gauntlets. By delivering massive voltage directly into the hardware, he short-circuits the retraction mechanisms of those deadly wrist blades, rendering its primary melee weapons completely useless.
So he's stripping away the plasma cannon, the cloaking field, and the blades piece by physical piece.
Which brings us to the final hurdle, Phase 4, neutralization. Because Batman's logs note that a cornered predator is an apocalyptic threat. If it realizes it has lost, it will activate a miniature nuclear self-destruct device on its wrist gauntlet that could vaporize several city blocks.
Talk about high stakes.
The entire engagement relies on preventing that countdown. So how do you trap a creature that can slice through steel?
You remove the steel. Batman calls in a heavy-duty drone that deploys a specialized containment net.
Right.
This net is woven with carbon fiber and synthetic diamond cables materials with extreme tensile strength that cannot be easily severed, even by Xenotech blades.
But more importantly,
the net is laced with localized electromagnetic pulse emitters. Once the net wraps the target, the EMP permanently fries any remaining internal electronics, specifically targeting the nuclear detonator circuitry.
and to finish it, A charge of cryogenic foam encases the alien in rapid-hardening synthetic ice.
It's a flawless theoretical framework. But, as in any conflict, the execution in the real world devolves into chaos before the trap can even be fully set.
Of course it does.
The Predator goes after Commissioner Gordon first. Gordon is at home, on the phone with Batman, when the Predator completely fills his doorframe. And it speaks in English, using a mundane phrase it picked up from a television broadcast. Pot roast smells good.
The psychological dissonance of that moment is just staggering. You have a towering, technologically superior alien monster mimicking domestic human-like seconds before initiating a slaughter.
It really is. The Predator is about to carve Gordon's face off when Detective Kandowski bursts in.
Oh, man.
She empties her sidearm into the beast, delaying it just long enough. The Predator blasts through the door, killing her instantly, but Gordon manages to scramble away.
Yeah.
Gordon heads to the roof of the police sanctuary, turns on the bat signal in the pouring rain, and waits. And finally, stepping out of the shadows, Batman appears, wearing that massive, heavily armored Fenrir suit.
The pieces are back on the board. Batman announces to the police units on site that he is the target, ordering them to clear the blast radius.
The rain is pouring down. The Predator materializes, cloaked, and the final showdown kicks off. The alien fires a plasma beam, but Batman tanks the hit with his heavy armor and hurls the Predator's own scimitar.
The one he pulled from his windshield.
Yes,
Yeah.
the one from their first fight, right back into the creature's shoulder. The impact severs a power line in the suit, visibly disabling the cloak.
Wow.
They engage in brutal, hand-to-hand combat, eventually crashing off the edge of the roof together.
And at this point, Batman utilizes his one remaining advantage, tactical mobility.
He remote summons the Batmobile. It slams into the Predator, but the alien actually leaps onto the hood of the car. Batman takes it on a wild, high-speed ride through Gotham streets, hacking and overriding the city's traffic light system to secure a straight, uninterrupted route.
With the Predator literally punching through the reinforced windshield as they drive at top speed,
Yeah.
he is forcibly relocating the combat zone. He's dragging the alien away from a random rooftop and directly into the GPS-designated environment he meticulously prepared.
Exactly. The Batmobile screeches to a halt, launching the Predator into a thicket of bushes. The alien manages to reboot its cloaking device, but Batman activates a high-decibel echo device on his arm.
And this summons a massive, chaotic swarm of actual bats from the surrounding caverns.
The erratic biological movement of hundreds of bats flying directly into the alien completely ruins the Predator's digital camouflage, exposing its position.
You have to picture that from the alien's perspective.
Oh, absolutely.
You are an apex interstellar hunter with the most advanced camouflage tech in the galaxy, and a guy dressed as a bat just used a swarm of actual, literal bats to render your multi-million-dollar gear totally useless.
How humiliating is that?
It is the ultimate subversion of power dynamics. The Predator relies entirely on its advanced technology to maintain dominance. Batman defeats it by introducing a chaotic biological element that the digital algorithm simply cannot process.
It completely strips away the alien's sense of superiority.
Ex-
The physical traps then spring into action. The Predator charges, falls into a concealed pit, and is ensnared in the diamond weave net.
Right.
It frantically manages to cut itself partially free and grabs Batman's cape, pulling him down, but Batman kicks it away. As the alien hits the ground, titanium steel rods shoot up from the earth, pinning it in place.
Gotcha.
Batman stands there, watching it struggle, and calmly informs the alien that he just hit it with a wide-spectrum tranquilizer strong enough to drop a rhinoceros.
And here is where the alien's arrogance transforms into sheer nihilistic desperation.
Yeah.
Realizing it has been outsmarted, outmaneuvered, and physically subdued at every single turn, the Predator begins to laugh.
Terrifying.
It decides to trigger its self-destruct gauntlet. If it cannot win the hunt, it will erase the playing field entirely.
So the 10-second countdown starts. Bruce dives in, rips a heavy power cable from his suit, and jams it directly into the gauntlet.
Yes.
He electrocutes and short-circuits the bomb's firing mechanism with mere seconds to spare. The resulting feedback blast throws them both backward.
And the tranquilizer is finally taking effect.
Right, but the drugged, panicked Predator manages to scramble away, falling down into the subterranean caverns.
Right into the Batcave.
Right into the Batcave.
It's a home invasion of the highest conceptual order. The alien hunter is now cornered in the ultimate predator's den.
Exactly. The Predator blindly knocks Batman away, sending him crashing into that giant iconic replica coin he keeps in the cave.
Oh, I love that detail.
It pins Batman underneath the massive prop. The alien leaps forward for the killing blow. But then, Alfred steps into the light.
Alfred.
The elderly butler raises an antique, wide-barrel blunderbuss shotgun and blasts the alien point-blank in the chest.
The contrast there is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The pinnacle of alien plasma technology is halted by a centuries-old black powder firearm wielded by a butler.
It's so good.
At this point, the massive dose of tranquilizers completely disrupts the Predator's central nervous system. It goes berserk, drops Alfred, stumbles blindly through the cave's trophy room, and escapes out into the dense forest surrounding Wayne Manor.
So Bruce leverages himself free from the giant coin. He strips off the heavy, battered metal helmet of the Fenrir suit, calling it dead weight, and grabs a simple wooden baseball bat.
Whoa.
He tracks the alien's glowing yellow blood deep into the woods. He sneaks up behind the exhausted, stumbling creature, calmly says hi, and swings the baseball bat with everything he has.
He cracks it across the back of the head and drives the alien face first into the dirt.
Yeah.
It's a profoundly human, blunt force conclusion to an incredibly technical, high-stakes battle.
Bruce is standing over it, gripping the bat, contemplating ending it right there. But suddenly, a blinding light beams down from the sky. The Earth violently shakes.
A gigantic alien spaceship lands right in the middle of the forest.
The sheer force of its thruster snapping ancient trees in half.
The creature's clan has arrived. An entire army of fully armed predators emerges from the ship's ramp, led by an imposing commander.
The Royal Guard instantly surrounds Batman. The commander slowly approaches the defeated Predator lying in the dirt. But instead of ordering Batman's execution, the commander reaches down and offers a ceremonial sword to the defeated hunter.
This is the ultimate resolution of their strict cultural code. In their society, defeat in a fair hunt equals death.
Wow.
The creature knows it lost fairly to a superior tactician. It accepts the harsh reality of its own culture's laws.
So the defeated Predator takes the sword, it looks up at Batman, and speaks its final words in perfect ungarbled English. Understand the rules.
And then it drives the sword directly into its own chest, taking its own life.
It executes itself to preserve its honor.
Acknowledging that it was bested by a better hunter.
The commander pulls that same sword from the body, meticulously wipes the glowing blood off the blade, and turns to Batman. He hands the sword to Bruce.
They are rewarding him as the victor in their sacred trial by combat.
They are formally acknowledging Batman as the new apex. The guards collect their fallen comrade, retreat into the ship, and ascend back into the stars.
And Alfred arrives a moment later with his blunderbuss.
Right. Looking up at the glowing hunter's moon, realizing with horror that there is an entire terrifying universe of these monsters out there.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Bruce isn't intimidated by that sky. He tells Alfred they won't return, not now that they know what kind of protector lives in Gotham. He has proven that human intellect, relentless preparation, and strategic adaptability can overcome practically any physical or technological advantage in the universe.
The core takeaway here is profound. Overwhelming power, immense physical strength, and highly advanced technology can all be completely dismantled by patience, keen observation, and exploiting an enemy's predictable ego.
Absolutely.
Batman didn't beat the Predator with muscles. He beat it by turning its own reliance on technology and superiority into a fatal weakness. But I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on as we wrap up this deep dive.
Sure.
Think about Batman's core identity. His entire moral code, the fundamental rule that separates him from the villains he fights, is built around never taking a life.
Right, the no-kill rule.
Yet in this scenario, by systematically defeating the Predator, he forced it into an inescapable cultural mandate where it had to execute itself.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Or does engaging with a species whose very existence relies on lethal combat inherently compromise the Batman's ultimate rule?
It is a fascinating ethical dilemma. He won the game and saved his city, but the unavoidable prize for winning was a casualty.
You go from the clean, predictable rules of that chessboard we talked about at the start, straight into the murky, unpredictable wilderness of intergalactic morality. The ultimate strategist, navigating a game where the only way to truly win is to let your opponent take their own life.